Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. Near the town of Ichnya in the Chernihiv region of Ukraine on Tuesday, there was an intense series of explosions. About 12,000 people were evacuated from their homes. Several versions of what happened are being checked by the Security Service of Ukraine. These include possible sabotage. The fire on the territory has now been extinguished and the intensity of explosions has been decreased. So what happened at the arsenal in Ichnya? To discuss this, we're joined in the studio today by Yuri Husyev. He is a former Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine. Hello and thank you for joining.
Hello.
So first of all, let's give our audience a view of what is happening at the town of Ichnya right now. We have some synchros.
Okay.
We came yesterday evening and started working in the morning. It's afternoon now, and we already have collected a whole truck of mostly Grad system ammunition. Police officers are working on the scene. Their main task is to maintain public order and provide assistance to locals. As of now, there are no reports of looting. The police patrols 24/7. The most problematic question is, how can I work on a field after that? We have 300 hectares surrounding the depot, and it's all covered in shrapnel. There can be an explosion while you're driving a tractor.
So this is what the situation is like through the eyes of people who live there and through the eyes through sappers who are working there to clear the area. Now, could you comment?
What is important here is now this explosions has been stopped, and now it's stopped, and special services are working in Chernihiv region, and the main version we suspect it's a sabotage and diversion because we have a hybrid war. It's not only on front line in the Donbas region, it's in different regions inside Ukraine, and Chernihiv region, it's a border region with Belarus, and we have some idea that it could be sabotage from our enemies, from Russian Federation, and it could be through UAV, through unmanned air vehicle that could bring some fire to this depot, and it could be caused for this explosions.
Doesn't it take special ammo to detonate the explosions, the other parts of the ammunition to explode?
It's a good question because, unfortunately, it's not the first time in Ukraine, and we had the same accidents during the last 4 years during this war against...
Exactly. The ammunition depot in Ichnya has been blasting for, if I'm not mistaken, this was the 5th time over the last 4 years.
Exactly. And actually, we did some homework, and we did some special things to defend these depots, not only in Chernihiv region, in different regions, but what we need new technology for defend these depots. And the president of Ukraine 2 days ago, after the special meeting in the administration of the president, sent official requests to NATO and to member states of the NATO to help us to build a new technological services for defend these depots in different regions. And I know that NATO and especially United States could and want to help Ukraine to defend depots in different regions, in Donbas region and other depots in other regions of Ukraine.
What kind of technologies are we talking about here?
We are talking about new technologies which could define UAVs, which could define some other technologies from enemies, which could be cause of these explosions, and it means that UAVs, for example, could be indicated and could be crushed because of this technology.
Okay. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ammunition in Ichnya was just basically being stored on the ground. Now, wouldn't it be
not only on the ground, because in some buildings as well, and
underground as well.
And underground as well.
Wouldn't it be more effective to organize or build bigger number of storage facilities underground so that UAVs or unmanned flying vehicles could not reach.
You're right that it could be on some special buildings, and you could defend it by technologies. This technology will defend these deports from UAVs, and UAV can't come under this area and can't fight for these deports and some other ammunitions. And there are many technologies in NATO countries how to defend deports and ammunition in different countries. And we have to transfer this technology to Ukraine. And actually, the president said we'd like to set up a new trust fund with NATO to defend deports in Ukraine, because it's very important not only for Ukraine but for NATO as well, because we have joint exercises with NATO. We have many other things to implement NATO standards. We have a STANAX also for depot, and that's why we need some help and support from our partners from NATO countries and NATO as alliance.
Once again, this is the fifth fire over the last 4 years, and we have still not implemented or not taken any measures to protect this particular ammunition depot.
We did some special measures how to protect it from the human entrance, from the enemy's entrance, but we have to implement new technology, and Ukraine doesn't have this technology. That's why we have to buy it or to transfer it from our partners, and it's very important because it's a hybrid war. I'd like to underline this. It's a hybrid war. It's not only on the east of Ukraine, and we have a strong enemy as a Russian Federation, and this enemy could destroy us as a country. That's why we have to protect not only our eastern part of the country, but other parts too. And first of all, it could be it must be military objects, it must be infrastructure objects, and we did our homework, and with lessons learned, because now we understand that we should to implement NATO standards, NATO technologies to protect us and to protect our depots first of all.
One of the versions, right, is an attack.
It's a sabotage.
An arson, a sabotage, and the version says that Russia is behind it, right? Why?
For me, it's no doubt about it.
Okay, why this particular depot in Ichnya? There are a lot of depots around Ukraine.
It's one of the biggest depots in Ukraine, and
it's the third biggest depot.
It's the third biggest depot, and what is important, some part of this ammunition was transferred during the last few months from this depot to other depots, and this depot located in the north part of Ukraine. It's next to the border with Belarus and Russia. That's why it's very dangerous to have a lot of ammunition at that part, and it's very near to the Russian Federation.
How critical is the situation in Ichnya comparing to the previous fires and in Ichnya's ammunition depot and other ammunition depots that also had explosions?
Each case is very critical because during war in the east of Ukraine we need ammunition, and we need ammunition for our artillery and other ammunitions. That's why it's very critical, and it's not good for Ukrainian army, but it's a war. It's a hybrid war, not on the east. That's why we have to be ready that Russia attacked Ukraine not only in the front line in the east of Ukraine. Russia attacked Ukraine on TV shows, on
yes,
medias, on other aspects, and on oil and gas market, etc., etc. We have to be ready, and we have to protect us, but not alone, with our partners. That's why I very support the President of Ukraine request to the NATO to help us to rebuild Soviet type of depots to NATO type of modern depots for ammunition.
What about people who lived in let's say, the settlement of Druzhba? Their homes have been, some of their homes have been ruined, others have been damaged. What's going to happen to those people?
You know that the government of Ukraine, as the Prime Minister said, the government will send money for these people to rebuild houses. I guess it should be the decision of the government, but I guess it will be millions of Ukrainian hryvnias to rebuild all these houses in that region. Thanks God, we don't have any victims, and we have only destruction of the houses. But
yes, but the winter is coming. People have nowhere to live.
As I know, there are many services, governmental services now at that area, and they are doing audit, and they will help people to solve this problem.
Okay, and the last question, Prosecutor's Office opened criminal cases on negligence, when the version of sabotage is usually voiced as the most appropriate one.
The main one.
It's the main one.
Yeah.
Then why open criminal cases on negligence?
I guess it's a question to General Prosecutor's Office. I know that there are many versions, and one of the main version is a sabotage, and I heard voice of the Prosecutor General, Mr. Lutsenko. He said investigation is on process, and we will have some conclusion in nearest time.
Thank you so much for coming and clarifying the whole situation. That was Yuri Husyev. He is a former Minister of Defense of Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for the rest.